Welcome to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where we discover the communities that are making a difference in the lives of others. Our self-discovery is something we are all making on our life's journey. Here you will find the people that will be your guidance, that will be your inspiration, that will be there for you in support on your journey of life. Do enjoy. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sarah's View of Life, right here at selfdiscoverymedia.com. I am your host, Sarah Troy. Well, there's a number of things that have happened in this last week. One, I got to hold my grandson for the first time. Ah, heavenly. You know, when you have a baby and you hold that child for the first time, there's something that comes over you that is just overwhelming and no words can describe it. But then you're going into the sleepless nights and the anxiety and the navigation of a newborn. When you're a grandma and you get to hold that baby, and I had the luxury of two-hour naps with him in my arms, just holding him, the little twitching of the face, the little squirming, being able to stroke him, stroke that third eye, have a talk with him. It's just a different type of feeling altogether. And it's not one that I've been actually able to describe. It's just a very calm, beautiful, peaceful moment. Here is my little grandson in my arms, looking absolutely perfect and long awaited for. And it's just something that is like a beautiful deep breath. There isn't any kind of adrenaline or huge chemical euphoria. It's just a sense of peace as you hold that child in your arms close to your bosom, and it just, you play with those little fingers and the hands that are so lined, and you kind of wonder, where's your life going to go? Who are you going to be? What's going to be your wonder in life? And it's just exceptionally peaceful and beautiful, and I look forward to being able to hold him again soon. Well, this week we lost Prince Philip. He's 5 years older than the Queen, so he died at 99, just two months shy of his 100th. The Queen is 94. They've been together for, I think, it's 73 years. And she's going to be at a loss for him because she was really, in a lot of ways, a pack person. Her mum, her sister, her daughter, her husband, they always were around. And now slowly, they're all dwindled away. And of course, with COVID, not so many people being around. And that's difficult. It's difficult. And so when our heart goes out to her right now, because for anybody who's lost somebody for that length of time, it's going to feel very empty. And it does mark a huge ending of an empire in many ways, because even if William takes over tomorrow, it's going to be a different picture of the royal family than what has been. But that marks that change in life for everything, doesn't it? As I held my grandson and I looked what his future is going to be, and we look at the changes that are going on in the world at the present moment. The vaccine slowly coming. I'm getting mine on the 26th. The vaccine slowly coming into being. Open one moment, closed the next moment. Still that conflict with the virus mutating and everybody being so frustrated and just trying to keep their heads above water. And I was meant to launch something, and the person I was launching it with has had a death in the family. And it's just like, take everything with a deep breath. I know everybody out there is just so frustrated with these changes that are happening. These open one moment, close the next. You can do this, you can't do that. Hungry for people's connection, not by Zoom, physically, hungry for the hug, hungry to hold those grandchildren, those children, this just being around friends and people, hungry to kind of have a consistent job, consistent work. And I know that it's very frustrating, but it's like with anything in life. I'm going to go back to kind of having a baby. In the first trimester, there's a lot of vomiting and you're exhausted and you think, why have I done this? And then things ease up a little bit and you can do more. And that third trimester, all of a sudden, you've got this big belly and you've got backache and everything hurts. And then you have to go through all those hours of labor to bring this child into the world. Well, consider us in labor. Consider us in labor right now. We're going through this transition to bring out the new changes in the world. We want to be safer. We want to be founded in a safe platform from which for us to springboard. Now, I know there's still an awful lot of conspiracy out there that COVID isn't real. Tell that to all the people that have lost their families, their love lives, to all the people that have lost their businesses, their income. Um, this isn't a government conspiracy out to get you. It's costing them a fortune to subsidize people's salaries and businesses to stay open. I do wish people would think a little bit further than the hysteria. And is it perhaps a little bit of a government play in there of manipulation? Maybe. Uh, Use your common sense, right? And it's like if you're around people who have had a flu pandemic, you don't want to be around them because they're going to pass it on to you and then you're going to get sick, and maybe you're a bronchial person and you're going to have bronchitis, or maybe the flu's just going to flatten you longer than you expected and you can't get back to work and you don't want to pass it on to your children or your grandchildren or your friends and your colleagues. It's just an enormous, great, big, vicious flu that if we get around it, we are going to get it and pass it on because it's just more vicious. So I would just like people to put away the conspiracy theories. I would like people to put away the feeding of the hate and the fear and the angst. And I'd like everyone to take a deep breath and just look at the opportunity of the new birth that is to come. No, we don't want things to go back to normal. Normal was dysfunctional. It was not working. This was an opportunity for us to change and move forward into a new life, into a new paradigm, one where we really care for one another, where we stick up for one another, where we support one another. That village mentality of being there for one another. And if we're not willing to do that, then we're losing the point of being away from community and not being allowed to be together is making us understand the need for each other. So as we come out of this and we get back amongst people, understand it isn't what can they do for you, it's what can you do for each other. And sometimes it's just the support of a loving heart, a big smile, a caringness, an ear, or hands on. But that's what we are asking people to go to: kindness, caring, consideration, compassion, love. Because when we step into those beautiful vibrations, we are the change that we seek. And we see things being so much more productive through that loving support. And this is the opportunity that we have right now to step into. So, yes, I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know this yo-yoing of open, close is very frustrating. But just bear with it. That new birth is coming. And when it does, the appreciation and the gratitude of what it will be, what can be, what is just going to be so much more valued. And perhaps as a human race, we've become so opulent and so entitled and so disregarding, so wasteful, and in many ways so disgraceful. And this was a good time for us to reflect, really have a good look at where we're at and who we are as human beings and where are we in the world. Now, there's been stabbings, there's been shootings, there's been still gang related murders, there's beheadings, there's still all that awful stuff going on in the world. And scum has to come to the top in order for it to be scooped off. But you don't scoop scum off with scum. You have to get in there, take it right off, and let the nutrients come forward. They can't come through because the scum is blocking them. Scrape the scum off, which means Let us not feed the hate. Let us not feed the loathing. Let us not feed the fear. Let us look to that loving support of one another. Take off the scum and allow all that beautiful, abundant nutrition that can feed us as a society grow. So, as we mark the end of eras, the end of Prince Philip, birth of my grandson, in many places, like look how far the States was behind with amount of deaths they were having, and look how far they are ahead now with the vaccines, and how they're going to be open soon, and how things are really moving forward under the right leadership. We here in Canada are behind. We didn't get the supply we needed, and we're trying to play catch up right now. But if we all just do our part, and one of our parts is just stop bitching, please, just stop moaning and groaning. There are so many people have it so much worse than you. Look, I know if you're running a business, it's damn hard when they keep closing the doors on you. How do you stay afloat? You had to get ingenuity. My son has a restaurant, which I've talked about before. He had the best day ever on Easter Sunday. Fortunately, the weather was good, and that meant he could have a full patio and turn it over all day long. He had people that come and pick up takeouts, as they normally do, but what he did do is he put on an Easter dinner. And his small little restaurant managed to break boundaries and leaps of bounds and having the very best day they've ever had. And that's because he thought outside of the box. So if you are a restaurant that you don't have a patio, then you have to look at other ways of promoting takeout, doing a special meal, special meals for people, a special package. You have to look at things in another way. Now, I disagree with restaurants being closed because already they've got things in place to protect people. It's more the gatherings that are going on out there that is causing the problem. The restaurants, those especially that are following the protocols, are doing very well. So I do think sometimes throwing the baby out with the bathwater is not the idea, or throwing out the whole barrel instead of just taking off the scum is not the way to go. And I think that a lot of it is just being so overly cautious that it's causing a lot more anxiety. One of the things we've got to realize as we come out of this and we go into this new birth is there's going to be a great deal of post-traumatic stress disorder. People that have been living in fear, people who have been shut down. The other day, my landlady was out at a grocery store and she coughed, an ordinary cough. And immediately someone next to her just started pointing fingers. Oh, she coughed. Where does that hysteria get there? People do cough. I'm asthmatic. I cough all the time. It's like, please, folks, don't look to the worst of a situation. And that panic, that chemicalization that's going in your body with that fear is weakening your immune system and making you more vulnerable to any illness. So it really is a time to take that deep breath. We are almost there. The summer can be very different. We could be outside, we could be gathering, we could be getting back to being able to function normally, not going back to normal, but normally. But we're still going to have to look at the innovative ways of moving forward in other ways. Common sense. What you feed, what you water will grow. And and here we are with this picture that comes up for those that are listening on my Zoom call. Every time I do a show, a picture flows up and it's the ocean blowing and the palm trees blowing. And it's like the wind is going to blow it all away, right? It's just going to blow things away. Let the crashing shores, the ocean, come wash away the sands. Feel the breeze in your face and it's gone back to normal here. And the thing is, there's always a solution to a problem. But you cannot see it with clenched fists or clenched jaws or a closed mind. So take that deep breath. Understand these changes that we're going through are going to go beyond COVID. There are changes of morality, a change of compassion, of empathy, of understanding. We are seeing more and more people in mental distress than ever before. A great deal of that is social media, is the media itself, is the fear of what's going on, and also is a lot to do with the way people eat. We need a lot more meditation, and meditation doesn't always have to be cross-legged and kumbaya. It is out of walk in nature, going for a cycle, a swim, whatever it is that eases your mind to ease your heart and soul. We are responsible for our own lives, our own actions, our own choices, our own reactions. Be mindful, be helpful, be soulful of them, and be compassionate of other people that are going through change. Don't feed the hysteria. Don't buy into it. Do look at how we can support each other to get through this, how you can support yourself, and understand every single chapter comes to an end at some point. And yes, we want to bring this chapter to an end. And there's going to be several endings in this. We're going to be able to end the chapter on this, and then there's going to be another chapter on that. Then we'll end that and have another chapter. And eventually that book will be closed on that subject. It's just the nature of the law, of the way everything goes in life. It goes in flows, in waves. Go with it. Do your best you can through it. Be optimistic. Be kind and considerate to yourself and to everyone else, and understand, yes, we will get through this. So as we say goodbye to one icon and we look at the birth of new opportunities and new possibilities, we have to understand that how we react, what we say, what we think, what we do is going to come back on us in one way or the other. So start off by being kind to yourself. Maybe you need to take some time out. Don't follow the social media. Remember algorithms. If you're following the social media that is always going to be angry and conspiracy, that's what you're going to be getting all the time. If you follow the social media and you form connections and interactions with people that are about being supportive of one another, being loving and caring and keeping things light, that's the algorithm you're going to be fed. So don't watch the things that are going to upset you, or the news, or this or that. Obviously, have enough knowledge to know what's going on, the updates, but don't get immersed in it, because it's so easy to press that hysterical button and then there is no rationality whatsoever. We are in spring. The sun is coming out. The flowers are coming out. The blossoms are coming out. Everything is in renewal. We are too. We are too. So embrace this newness. No matter if it still feels that you're dragging a little bit of the old with you, it will come off as we embrace the new. And just as I held my grandson and felt in awe, in peace, in calmness, in wonderment, let our lives be that. Stop worrying so much. Do what you can do with what you've got right now. Got lemons? Make lemonade. Lemons are incredibly healing. They have so many different benefits. There is always a benefit after something, even if you can't see it right now. When the mind is calm, the heart is open, you are so much more receptive to the possibilities. So while you're going through this change, folks, let the spring of this change help you grow and blossom. Until next week, folks, remember, listen, interact, and actionism in something that's going to uplift you and not pull you down. Okay? Bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. You will hear many, many shows here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. We have new shows for you out every week. Just find them on our podcast or What's New. If you feel that you have something to share that makes a difference in the lives of others, or you too feel that you could be a host, please contact me at info@selfdiscoverymedia.com and we will be glad to speak with you. Have a wonderful day.